Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda. Jai Advaita Chanda Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda. Jai Advaita Chanda Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. So, because of upcoming trip to Mayapur, we are discussing on the islands. Today we'll discuss on Antradvipa, one of the 9 islands. Antradvipa is the smallest island. As we mentioned yesterday, Navadvipa is in the shape of a lotus, 8-petal lotus. Then the 9th island is the center, Antradvipa. It's said to be non-different from Gokul in Vrindavan. Mahavan, that Mahavan forest, the Gokul is there. So this is non-different from there. And the reason why is it called Antradvipa, for that we had to look into Krishna Leela. In Krishna Leela we hear when Krishna killed the Aghasur demon, that time Lord Brahma was observing Krishna and thinking, is he my worshipable Lord? He was sort of doubting. Then while observing, after he killed Aghasur, they sat for a picnic lunch near Yamuna. And there Krishna's friends were giving him different offerings and he was eating it. And then he was observing, he said, no, he cannot be the Supreme Narayan, my master. So then he thought to test Krishna by stealing the cowherd boys. When the cows had wandered off, Krishna left to find them, the calves. Then he stole the cowherd boys and hid them. So then we know the pastime, what happened. After some time, Krishna came, he saw the cowherd boys are not there. So he manifested again, exactly as they were. When Brahma came to observe, then he was bewildered. I took the boys. Are these the same boys? Or did he manifest new boys? Or am I bewildered? And he went in confusion. Then suddenly Krishna manifested the cows and cowherd boys as Vishnu forms. Then he understood. So when he realized that, he felt very morose because he offended the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he offered many prayers which are in Srimad Bhagavatam, very beautiful prayers by Lord Brahma. Many of them are quoted by Srila Prabhupada regularly. But even still, after offering the prayers, he was still feeling very morose. So he came here to Antradvipa and he did tapasya and meditated on form of Krishna for a long time. But then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. And he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he could understand this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he offered prayers. And then he immediately understood about Mahaprabhu and his pastimes, which were going to come. So he asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he be able to come in his Leela. And also that he come in a very humble, in a low birth and be very humble, so that he again doesn't take, this pride doesn't come in him. So then it's mentioned that this is all in Navadvipa Dham Mahatmya, that book. So then Lord Brahma, he appeared in a Muslim family and became Haridas Thakur. And he was epitome of humility. He was chanting 300,000 names of Krishna daily. So Lord Chaitanya, he told Lord Brahma, Brahma, hear these secret, and in the Sanskrit the word antar comes. Antar means inner or secret or confidential. So Lord Brahma, hear these secret or antar words. That's why it's called Antradvipa. But do not reveal them openly in the scriptures. Because Lord Brahma spoke a lot of knowledge, he offered prayers also, but he said, don't reveal about Navadvipa. Taking the role of a devotee, I will taste the nectar of bhakti rasa and propagate the most rare process of Sankirtan. I will make the devotees of all previous avatars drunk with the nectar of Vrindavan. Many worshippers of Vishnu in different forms, Narayan, Narasimha, etc. But he said, I will make them drunk of the nectar of Vrindavan, Krishna. The love that Sri Radhika possesses is beyond my experience. So I will appear with her sentiment and complexion. Taking the position of Radha, I will taste the happiness that only Radha obtains in serving me. From today, act as my disciple and in the form of Haridas always serve me. So in this way, Haridas Thakur is actually Lord Brahma. He came. In Antradvipa, there are many holy places. As we said, because it's the center, Mahaprabhu appeared there. Right in the center is Yogpit. So Yogpit is called Yogpit. Some of you have not been, but you know what it is. Yogpit is where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. Why is it called Yogpit? There are different explanations. Yesterday we mentioned Yog means connection. So here the Supreme Spiritual Personality, came in the material world. Not really, he's not really in material world. You understand who's Supreme Personality of Godhead. When he comes, what is that in him? He comes in his Ajasanapi Avyayatma. He comes in his own form. He doesn't touch matter. But he became manifest to us. So it's called Yogpit because the Supreme Spiritual came into the material realm. It's also called Yogpit because all the different devotees and followers of Krishna, devotees, came and they all combined there in Yogpit and they performed Leela. Actually, Yogpit was the house of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then surrounding was the house of Gadadhar, Pandit, Advaita Acharya, Srivas Thakur. They were all nearby. So because they all came in one place, that is called Yogpit. And third reason is because Krishna and Radha combined to form Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's called Yogpit. So Yogpit, as we know now, in 1893, Bhaktivinoda Thakur established Yogpit as the actual site of Lord Chaitanya's appearance. There was a lot of confusion before, and now still people arguing. In Navadvipa, Kulingram, Navadvipa side, that no, that's not the place, this is the place. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we know, Acharya, all our Acharyas accepted this place as the place. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Bhaktivinoda Thakur established this as the appearance place in 1893. And then he collected funds and built a temple here. He actually went house to house. And he told everyone, give me 1 rupee. Oh, not even 1 rupee, those days it was less. I mean, he took less money, 1 coin. And, but he didn't, if someone wanted to give more, he said, no, just give me 1. I want everyone to get the mercy. And then it was printed in the newspaper because he was a great High Court judge. That the Honorable Great, what was his name, Kedarnath Datta, is coming to everyone's house to collect some annas, to build a temple. Everyone must surely give it to him. So he built, by 1906, he built Yogpit and installed Gaur Narayan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Vishnu Priya and Lakshmi Priya on the side. We'll see that. But what we are seeing today is what later on Bhaktisiddhanta, his son and transcendental son and great devotee, what he established, that in 1935 on Gaur Purnima, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur inaugurated what we are seeing, the structure today. And that was including the deities by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, but some other deities also. Of, for example, Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata with child Nimai, that is on one side, and then another side. We'll see when we go there. There are also a small deity of Jagannath Mishra, which when Bhaktisiddhanta was excavating to build that place, they found a deity. And he said, this is Adokshaj Vishnu, the deity worshipped by Jagannath Mishra. They actually found it in the excavation. So Antradvipa here I'm reading, this is a lot of it taken from Chaitanya Bhagavat and from Navadvipa Mahatmya. Antradvipa is the center of the universe, and the center of Antradvipa is Yogpit. It is the center just as Gokul is the center of Vrindavan. At Yogpit, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed many pastimes, childhood pastimes. We yesterday heard how he appeared on the full moon day. There was a lunar eclipse and he appeared. Everyone was chanting Hari Hari. So with the time when he appeared, many demigods who had deeper vision could understand Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared, and they were in bliss. They were very happy, and they were dancing and playing flutes. And Chaitanya Bhagavat explains, many of them came with their wives and took human forms to come and see child Nimai and offer prayers. Then Sachi Mata's father, Nilambar Chakravarti, who was incarnation of Gargamuni. In Gargamuni, when Krishna appeared, he came and did the chart, explained who he is. So Nilambar Chakravarti Thakur, in this birth, he identified the 32 divine symbols on the body of his grandson. And he read the astrological calculation, and he became more overwhelmed. See, who is this personality who appeared at this time? This Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he didn't reveal that. And in the assembly, it says that there was one elevated personality who was in the assembly, because many demigods had come. They were just, there. So he said that this child is the Supreme Narayan himself. He will establish the essence of all religion. He will initiate a wonderful preaching movement and deliver the whole world. Even stubborn atheists will worship his feet. So Sachimata called her child, what did she call her child? Why? You tell me, why? Because he born under a neem tree. Okay, that was there. But Sita Devi, Advaitacharya's wife and his eternal consort, named him Nimai for a different reason. What was that? Because the neem tree is it wards off, insects, snakes, mosquitoes, the trees like that. Even no termite will attack it. So she called him Nimai to protect him from ghosts and evil spirits. And then the ladies named him Gorahari because of his beautiful golden complexion. His father called him Goranga. So many names. When Nimai was 6 months old, Sachimata noticed divine signs on his lotus feet. Seeing this, Nilamba Chakravarti Thakur immediately called all Brahmins and held a festival of Namakaran, giving the name. And he recalled the predictions he made about this child and how he was so amazing. So, therefore, in the Namkaran ceremony, he said in the future the child will be the protector and maintainer of the whole universe. For this reason he will be called Vishvambar, maintainer of Vishwa, of the whole universe. So as child Nimai cried a lot and would not stop until ladies sing Hari Hari. As a child he used to cry a lot. And when they chant Hari Hari, only then he'll stop. Everyone found out and they'll come and Hari Hari Hari, and then he'll stop. Then he'll start crying. Then they'll chant Hari. In this way everyone start chanting Hari. That was his mission. Everyone should chant. His golden bells tinkled and he kicked his legs while on Sachimata's lap, as he took his first faltering steps while learning to walk. So now all our ladies came and he started to walk, and he looked so beautiful. They all used to come there. And they used to promise him that if you dance, we'll sing names of Krishna and you dance, we'll give you Sandesh and Shira. So it says here, that same Supreme Lord, who is unapproachable by great sages and by demigods, he danced awkwardly on his chubby feet. Okay, little baby learn how to walk, now they're making him dance. So he will dance awkwardly and smile sweetly as the ladies chanted Hari Hari and clapped their hands. And in this way again He is making everyone chant. Once, while Sachimata was resting with Nimai on the bed, she suddenly saw foot soldiers coming in her room. Many demigods followed. They took Nimai from her lap, placed him on a jeweled asan, and they bathed him and worshipped him, proceeded to offer him obeisances and prayers. The demigods chanted, "All glories to Lord Jagannath, the Lord of the universe. All glories to the Supreme Maintainer. In Kali Yuga, this boy will maintain us. O Vishwambar, we fall at your lotus feet and beg you, please bestow upon us the rare treasure of Vrajarasa." So now Sachimata saw this and couldn't make out, is it a dream or did I really see what happened? So being afraid, she sent him to his father so he could sleep peacefully and not be disturbed. She couldn't understand what happened. She said, "Go and sleep with your father." So she became more bewildered also, because when Nimai sometimes walked, she'll hear tinkling bells, but there was no bells on his feet. Some of the pastimes here we are reading. So this all happened in Yog Pit, where we'll see the Yog Pit. When Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata were out of the house, Nimai would scatter wheat, rice and dal and milk all around. He would then lie on the floor and cry as if in fear when he heard his parents returning. Sachimata would take Nimai into her arms and in anxiety pray for his protection from the demon who had caused such havoc. There was no limit to the joy of Sachimata as she gazed upon the beautiful face of her son. One day Nimai saw a big snake while he was crawling around the front yard of the house. Actually, if you go to Yog Pit, you will see a tree, and where he appeared, now there's a small temple, Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata and baby Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So under that tree, he saw a snake. He grabbed it and lay down upon the coils of the snake. Everyone called out, "Garuda!" You know, I don't know if you know that, but traditionally, this I know even in Tamil Nadu, here in Salem, we were there. And whenever the local people saw a snake and they had to kill it, they'll shout, "Garuda, Garuda," because it will bewilder the snake and it will not bite. So the local people shouted, "Garuda," and prayed to Krishna to save their Nimai. Hearing this commotion, the snake was actually Anantashesh, who had come to visit him. The snake slithered away. Nimai tried to catch the snake again, but the ladies quickly picked him up and began chanting prayers for his protection. So Yog Pit, a lot of childhood pastimes happen in the same place. Okay, but we are looking at Antradvipa. There are many holy places here. Yog Pit. Now, after, if you come out of ISKCON, take a right, you pass a small bridge. After the bridge, there are many ghats toward the left of the road, Bhaktisiddhanta Marg. Later, some on the right also. That's because, as we mentioned, Ganga used to flow there. So there are many ghats which are not there now. It's dried up. You cannot even see some of them, but they are mentioned here. And when we get spiritual vision, then we will see all of it. We will see the actual Ganga also. Now, after, no, actually before, Yog Pit is there. Now we have Murari Gupta, where his house is. We'll also see that. So Murari Gupta is a very intimate associate of Mahaprabhu. From the beginning to the end, he was there. From the beginning. He was, they actually have an eternal relation. We'll read about it. He's an incarnation of Hanuman in Chaitanya Leela. Murari Gupta is as dear to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Hanuman is to Lord Ram. He appeared as in Srihat, the hometown of Jagannath Mishra and Shiva's Pandit, but became a resident of Mayapur when he was a young boy. He also came. Many people immigrated from somewhere, what is known as Sylhet. They came from there. It was Brahmana communities were there, and so they came to Navadvipa. He also came. He was externally not from a Brahmana family, as was Jagannath Mishra. It says he was only a few years older than Mahaprabhu and a close neighbor. So they shared many experiences while growing up. Just same place where Mahaprabhu, all the close associates were around there. Born into a lineage of Ayurvedic doctors, Murari Gupta followed that profession. But because of his elevated spiritual potency, he also cured spiritual diseases of his patients, along with their physical ailments. Murari Gupta also wrote the first biography of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, titled Sri Chaitanya Charita. There is one pastime. Murari Gupta was once Nimai saw Murari Gupta walking along the street discussing Yoga Shastra. So then Gaurahari ran behind Murari and began imitating him, his speech and his way of walking. So then Murari Gupta got upset. He said, "Who is this boy? Is he well behaved? And I recognize him to be the son of Jagannath Mishra." So then Mahaprabhu got angry. So he got angry, and Nimai told Murari he would realize something wonderful while eating lunch that day. There is a whole purpose of this Leela. So Murari forgot about the incident, and he sat down. When he was sitting down to eat his lunch, then Mahaprabhu came and he had disguised himself very opulently with cloth, pearl necklace, and his hair tied up, sikha, and kajal in his eyes, everything. So when Nimai came in, then Murari Gupta was surprised. He said, "No, don't worry. You just take your lunch," he told him. So when Murari Gupta was eating, Nimai came near and suddenly started urinating on the food. So then Murari Gupta was shocked. "Shame on you, shame on you." Then Gaurahari was dancing and clapping, and he was shouting. In happiness, he was shouting, "Giving up the path of devotion, you have adopted the path of yoga. You should forget about karma and gyan, just worship Radha and Krishna with all your heart. Become a rasika bhakta, and you will taste the blissful mellows of loving Krishna. Don't you understand these things? Lord Hari is omnipotent, full of compassion. He is the treasure of the very life of the gopis of Vrindavan. Why do you hurt the Lord by not serving him?" You see, Murari Gupta was discussing about yoga shastras. Yoga. So he wanted to bring him to bhakti. So saying this, Gaurahari disappeared and returned home. So then Murari Gupta was perplexed. How about this incident? So he ran to Jagannath Mishra's house, and then he saw Nimai being jostled and caressed on the laps of his parents like a small child. Then Murari Gupta paid him obeisances and offered prayers. And then Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata were looking, what's going on? Why are they doing this? Then Nimai pretended he didn't know what was happening. And then Murari Gupta said, "Vishwambar is the supreme lord of all lords and maintainer of the universe. In the future, this boy you are raising will reveal his true identity." He then left, his heart bursting in joy. So the Murari Gupta's place is still there, and the deities he worshipped. He was Hanuman. You heard of Mahaprakash Leela? In Shiva Sangan, once, for 21 hours, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifested himself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and showed different forms to different people. And he told everyone, "Worship me, perform Abhishek." They did Abhishek. Then they offered him many things to eat, and he ate everything. He finished everything in the house. Then they went outside, brought more offerings. So at that time, he told, this mentioned here, he told Murari Gupta, "Look at me," and revealed himself as Lord Ram and Sita, Lakshman and Hanuman. Murari collapsed on the floor, but Lord Chaitanya continued, "Hey monkey, did you forget how Ravan burnt your face and how you set his kingdom ablaze? I am that same worshipable Lord of yours. Arise, Murari, you are very dear to me as my own life." Regaining his senses, Murari asked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for a boon that he always appear with the Lord in his pastimes as his servant. So even the deities he worshipped are still there. This is all in Antradvipa. Okay, we mentioned about the ghats. There's also a lot of other pastimes are here, but time. There's a kund called Balal Dighi or Prithu Kund. Prithu Maharaj is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. He was an empowered incarnation of the Lord who appeared in Satya Yuga. So Prithu Maharaj was leveling the earth to help Mother Bhumi produce the required crops to feed the citizens, removing the mountains. He was a powerful personality. When the workers of Prithu arrived here, they were amazed to see a brilliant effulgence emanating from the ground. Hearing of this, Maharaj Prithu came. Perceiving this place to be very special, he became absorbed in meditation and received the darshan of Lord Krishna in his form as Lord Chaitanya. He saw him. Lord Chaitanya told Prithu Maharaj that this place was Navadvipa, his eternal abode. He requested him to excavate a beautiful kund and to also keep his future pastimes a secret. All of one's sins are destroyed by drinking the water of the kund, and by bathing here one goes to the supreme abode. Later, when the Sena dynasty was ruling Bengal, King Lakshman Sena had his palace in this area. He had this kund enlarged and renamed it after his father, Balal Sena. It's also said that Jayadev Goswami wrote his Dashavastar Stotra on the banks of this kund. Actually, Jayadev Goswami's place was near to that. So it's a very significant place, but it's not there anymore. That is Kali Yuga. Kund is not there anymore. Just that area is there. Okay, still on Antradvipa. Srivasangan is on Antradvipa. Srivasangan is, you can say, the birthplace of Sankirtan. Birthplace of the Sankirtan. It started there. It was all in one room. Later it went all over the world. So Lord Chaitanya used to dance in bliss in Kirtan with his eternal associates at Srivasangan, the Rasa Sthali of Navadvipa, in the same way that Krishna danced with the gopis in the groves of Raja, the Rasa Sthali of Vrindavan. Srivasangan is where Krishna and Radha, in their combined form of Lord Chaitanya, reenact their Ras Lila as the Sankirtan Lila, congregational chanting of the holy name. Although these two Leelas are non-different, it is through the Sankirtan Leela that Krishna freely and openly bestows upon everyone in the same Krishna Prem he enjoyed with the gopis in his Krishna Leela. So who is Srivas Pandit? He is a member of Panchatattva. The Panchatattva represents all the different tattvas. Who does, you know who Gadadhar Pandit represents? Who? Which tattva? Which tattva does he represent? Which tattva? Shakti tattva. Radha. Because you see, they are representing. It includes not only Radharani, but for example, Gadadhar Pandit, Swarup Damodar, Lalita, he is Lalita Sakhi. Then Ramananda Rai. They are all in Shakti tattva category. So, Supreme Personality of Godhead appears in different forms. He has different tattvas. So one is Shakti tattva, represented by Gadadhar Pandit, and Jiva tattva is represented by Shivas Thakur in the Pancha tattva, and then the Swarup expansions of the Lord are represented by Nityananda, and the avatars, incarnations, by Advaita Acharya. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktas Roop Swarupakam Bhakta Avataram Bhaktakhyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam, in different forms. In Panchatattva, Srivas Pandit represents the pure devotees of the Lord. He is an incarnation of Narad Muni, and Narad Muni is a Shakti Avesh, incarnation of Krishna as a pure devotee. Although appearing and growing up in Srihatta, West Bengal, Srivas Pandit later moved to Navadvipa with his 4 elder brothers, so they could associate with all Vaishnavas here. They would regularly meet Advaita Acharya to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, and also devotees to sing bhajans glorifying the Lord. Srivas Pandit and his wife Malini were contemporaries and very close friends of Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata. They were present at Lord Chaitanya's birth, and Malini helped Sachi Mata in bringing up Nitai Nimai on his part. And so Srivas Nimai on his part, so Srivas Pandit and Malini as his parents. Srivas's house was the center of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan pastimes until he left Mayapur to take sannyas. So many pastimes happened in Srivas Angan while they were doing the kirtans, including this Kola Banga Danga, when the Chand Kazi came and said to stop the Sankirtan. That happened there. This Mahaprakash Leela, it's given in, I think, Chaitanya Bhagavat, not in our Chaitanya Charitamrita. That also happened there. Srivas Sangan now has some temples there. When we go, we see them there. And near to Srivas Angan is Advaita Bhavan and Gadadhar Bhavan. These were the houses. You see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's house was there, Yogpit. Then we walk a little, you see Srivas Angan, but very near is Gadadhar Bhavan and Advaita Bhavan. So Advaita Acharya used to be at Advaita Bhavan and give class on Srimad Bhagavatam, and all the Vaishnavas used to come and hear that. Advaita Bhavan is famous as a place where Advaita Acharya's loud, heartfelt calls to the Lord compel him to appear as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and inaugurate the Sankirtan mission. Again, if you see the description and the painting in ISKCON, Advaita Acharya is sitting under a tree just next to on the bank of Ganga, but Ganga is not there now, it's shifted. So he was on the bank of Ganga, and as we mentioned yesterday, that Shastra says if you worship Shalagram with Tulsi and Ganga, all your spiritual desires can be fulfilled. So he was calling out to Krishna to descend. And in Mahaprakash Leela, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he took a different mood as Supreme. He said, I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead, worship me, bring offerings, now do Abhishek. I came here because Nar was calling me. Means Advaita Acharya was calling, so I came, he's saying. So that's at Advaita Bhavan. But he had another place. Advaita Acharya lived in Shantipur but kept his bhavan for his Mayapur visits. Other places in Shantipur. He is a member of the Panchatattva and had a leading role in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. The pastimes between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Advaita Acharya are most blissful, being permeated with the joy of Advaita Acharya's effervescent personality. Those pastimes that took place here at Advaita Bhavan are some are mentioned here. Advaita Acharya is one personality. When he is very much present even in Puri pastimes, Jagannath Puri. Lord Nityananda would come, visit, come and go. Advaita Acharya spent a lot of time. Their pastimes even in, for example, Narendra Sarovar, where they used to bathe. Advaita Acharya and Nityananda used to splash water on each other. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would get angry, stop behaving like children, he used to tell them. Stop behaving like children. They used to, get into ecstasy, splashing water on each other. We're speaking about Advaita Bhavan, so we can mention some of the pastimes here. We know, for example, that Vishwarup. You know who's Vishwarup? You know who's Vishwarup? Vishwarup? Who is he? Elder brother of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Vishwarup, he spent many hours there in Advaita Bhavan. Why? He would be discussing Srimad Bhagavatam and became very advanced and detached. So he was absorbed in Krishna Katha. That time Lord Chaitanya was a young boy, and little Nimai would wander over here and pull on Vishwarup's dhoti and tell him, it's time to come home, they're calling you for lunch. Small, he was a kid. He'd just be pulling his brother. Mother, go and call your brother. He'll come. Call. Okay. It's lunchtime. Advaita Acharya could not understand his deep attraction for this little boy. That time Advaita Acharya would see him and he couldn't understand, why am I so attracted to this boy? And would just stare in wonder as Nimai walked away holding on to Vishwarup's dhoti. Nimai would stare back at Advaita Acharya and smile while thinking to himself, Nara, it's only because of your loud calling that I left Vaikuntha and came here. Now you do not recognize me. One time Advaita Acharya and the Vaishnavas were loudly singing and calling out Krishna's name. Nimai, now a little older, came running here along with his friends. Nimai ran up to everyone and they all bewildered. Now we are singing Hari's name. Why this boy came running? And Nimai said, you are calling me. They couldn't understand. Then he ran off with his friends. The devotees, unable to grasp the true import of these words, thought that this was just another aspect of Nimai's wild and restless behavior. So, once we know that when Vishwarup left, because of, actually what happened was they were planning his marriage. So he heard that and he wanted to be, he already spending time with Advaita Acharya, he went and he had a different plan. So he took sannyas. In those days taking sannyas meant you just leave. Now, not like now, you know, when we tell home. So that was the culture before. So he just left and then they could understand what happened. So that time, when later on, when Nimai started spending more time with Advaita Acharya, Sachi Mata got upset and she spoke a little unfavorably. That he's called Advaita, to me he's Dvaita, she said. He has dual personality. Now he's going to take away my Nimai also. He took away Vishwarup. So that was, when he showed his Mahaprakash, he said, I'm not going to give any benediction to her. Because she didn't, of course she committed a great offense to a devotee. Anyway, this is a pastime. Then everyone was dumbstruck. They said, she's the mother of the universe. How can you not give her any benediction? How can you have this mood? No, she insulted a devotee. So then they took, he said, I can't forgive her, but the one she offended can forgive her. So they took her to Advaita Acharya and said, can you forgive her? And he said, you want my head to break? Exact word he said, you want my head to break open? You want, why you're giving me inauspiciousness? She's the mother of the universe. Why should I apologize to her? Why should I do anything? So how did it go then? Advaita Acharya started glorifying Sachimata, and in that ecstasy fainted. When she fainted, then Sachimata ran and took the dust of Advaita Acharya, put on her head to get forgiveness. Then she went in ecstasy. So these are the pastimes of Gaura Leela. Advaita Acharya, we can read about how he was of course, Mahavishnu, you know, incarnation. He was a pure devotee and he felt great pain by seeing this world. How people were not. He says the entire population of Navadvipa was immersed in materialistic activities. Vedic, but logic, Nyaya and all this. They were spending huge amounts of money on demigod worship and worship for materialistic benedictions to increase their sensual enjoyments. Bewildered by illusion and materialistic enjoyments, they continue to criticize devotees for their practices. The devotees were pained to see the hopeless condition. Advaita Acharya's heart suffered the same acute pains upon seeing everyone devoid of devotional service. He thought, if my Lord descends, then he can liberate everyone. I can boast of being an incarnation of Mahavishnu only if I can convince the Lord of Vaikuntha, Krishna, to appear in this world. That time I shall sing and dance in joy and liberate all the conditioned souls. So he then remembered a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam that explains how the Lord is eternally indebted to anyone who offers him tulasi and Ganga water. Thus, with unswerving resolve, the Acharya worshipped his shalagram with 8 tulsi manjaris and Ganga water and implored the Lord to appear. He supplied the Lord with heart-rending prayers and loud cries. He roared as loud as thunder, begging the Lord to come by saying, "My Lord, the people need to understand that you are the all-good, all-loving and all-merciful, but they have no room for you in their hearts. Although the sufferings of my fellow men deeply afflict my heart, I too am a great sinner, so I cannot help them. O Lord, you must now descend yourself and teach them how to attain you. Only by this means will they learn to love you and thus end all their miseries." Being irresistibly attracted to these prayers of Advaita Acharya, which was saturated with love for those suffering the pangs of material life, the Lord immediately descended as Nimai, the son of Jagannath Mishra. Shri Gaurang Mahaprabhu ki jai. So many other pastimes happened at Advaita Bhavan, but now we'll go few steps away from there to Gadadhar Bhavan, Gadadhar Pandit's house. Gadadhar was exactly same age mate as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Shivas was not, he was elder, Advaita was very old, but Gadadhar Pandit, they used to be together from the beginning. Gadadhar Pandit is Radharani, but in his incarnation he didn't have any of those qualities, didn't display them. They were taken by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He had a different demeanor. His father was Madhav Mishra. He grew up here along with his younger brother Vaninath. As young boys, Chaitanya and Gadadhar were inseparable. But in direct contrast to Lord Chaitanya, Gadadhar Pandit was quiet and very sober. Gadadhar Pandit's heart was deeply entrenched in Krishna Prem. He was always absorbed in thoughts of Krishna and always speaking Krishna Katha. In the association of devotees, he was renounced and gentle in his behavior and dearly loved everyone. As they grew up, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar played together, ate together, and went to Ganga Das Pandit's school together, Gurukul. After graduating, Nimai began his delightful pastimes as a proud scholar. No one could defeat him. Vishwambar would annoy Gadadhar Pandit by asking him many illogical questions, so that even Gadadhar Pandit, who otherwise could not be separated from Vishwambar, would avoid him as best as he could. One time, however, Vishwambar caught Gadadhar Pandit by clasping his hand. "I hear that you study logic and are very learned. You must tell me the symptoms of liberation." Gadadhar Pandit answered by saying that liberation comes only after annihilation of extreme suffering. "Your explanation is not up to standard," replied Vishwambar, and then defeated Gadadhar Pandit's statement in many ways. "Gadadhar, you can go home today," continued Vishwambar, "but tomorrow we shall meet again and we'll have another chance." Thinking only of how to avoid Vishwambar's presence, Gadadhar Pandit paid his obeisance and left as quickly as he could. Now there's another here, one pastime about how, better I read it. On seeing the symptoms of Krishna Prem manifest in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on his return from Gaya, Gadadhar Pandit was amazed and supremely joyful. He was very happy. Advaita Acharya, everyone was happy, but Gadadhar Pandit was a close associate of Mahaprabhu, and he always disturbed him with logic and reason. So now he became happy. One day when Gadadhar came to see Gaurasundar, he noticed the Lord was hiding some better leaves in his hand. Seeing Gadadhar Pandit, Gaurahari said, "Where is Krishna? How can I find the Lord of my heart?" Gaurahari's heartfelt cries took everyone by surprise. Gadadhar Pandit, desiring to placate Gauranga Mahaprabhu, replied, "Krishna is eternally in your heart." Hearing this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began digging his fingernails into his chest in a desperate attempt to find Krishna. Gadadhar Pandit restrained Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and pacified him by saying he should be patient as Krishna would come very soon. Gadadhar Pandit control over Gaurasundar greatly satisfied Sachimata. She asked Gadadhar to always stay with her unpredictable son to take care of him. So that was her wish. Because Gadadhar, after he entered that next phase of going into ecstasy, Sachimata was always concerned. She couldn't understand. She thought, what happened to my son? He got sick, something happened. So then she said, okay, when you are there, he's very nice, he's behaving, you can manage to control him. Can you stay with him? And he stayed with him till the end. If we read Chaitanya Charitamrita, even when he went to Puri, he went with him. But in the Antya Lila, at the end, when Mahaprabhu went into deep ecstasy in Radharani's mood, that time, it's explained that Mahaprabhu exiled Gadadhar Pandit to Tota Gopinath. Kshetra Sannyas. Don't leave here. Don't leave the deity. Because then he'll be disturbed in his pastimes. He had to take a certain mood, and he didn't. Gadadhar Pandit would. He would bring him back to the external consciousness. He was in a different mood. He wanted to relish that higher bhava. It is very esoteric topics. So that time he was then not with him. Okay, still on Antradvipa, Gadadhar Bhavan, Advaita Bhavan, Swarup Damodar. Swarup Damodar was born in Navadvipa and later named as Purushottamacharya. His father's name was Sri Padmagarbhacharya. He lived near to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Antradvipa. As they grew up, they were in the same class at school. Later he accepted initiation from Ishwarpuri, studied the Vedas in Kashi, but he left as he was very unhappy with the Mayavad interpretation. When he heard that Gauranga Mahaprabhu had taken sannyas and left Mayapur, Purushottam was so mortified that he also left and took sannyas, receiving the name Swarup Damodar. He joined Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri, became one of the Gaurahari's closest associates. It was his original manuscript recording Mahaprabhu's pastimes in Puri that Krishna Das Kaviraj consulted for writing his Chaitanya Charitamrita. Swarup Damodar stayed with him in Puri, so he had a diary and recorded everything, and based on that Chaitanya Charitamrita was written. Swarup Damodar is incarnation of Lalita Devi, it says. So we hear in Chaitanya Lila that everything has a purpose. In Krishna Lila, how everyone came and took their roles. So just as in Krishna Lila, Lalita was always with Radharani and helping her in her role of remembering Krishna and arranging the pastimes, etc. So here, Mahaprabhu took that mood, and in some places it says actually Radharani and Krishna are one in one body, in that his body. So Swarup Damodar was there for that purpose, to guide again. And we understand from Chaitanya Charitamrita that Mahaprabhu only discussed Krishna Lila, Gopi Lila, with Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Rai, who were both gopis, incarnations. So he actually appeared in Navadvipa Dham. Okay, two places left in the eternal, unlimited place of Antradvipa. Many places are there. Some we will not know, but this is recorded here in this book. Chaitanya Mat. Chaitanya Mat is the place established by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. It was the first, you can say, it was the first Mat, spiritual place, Mat. After that, of course, ISKCON came later, but after Chaitanya Mat came so many Mats. Now, from Chaitanya Mat now, where it is, till the Ghat, Swarupganj, that whole line, they are all so many Mats. But Chaitanya Mat was the first one, established by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He called this place Vrindavan Patan, which means the place where the forest of Vrindavan is manifest. You know why? Because within Chaitanya Mat he manifested Govardhan. We'll go there, you'll see. He said, this is Govardhan. He built up, there's one mountain. This is Govardhan, Radhakund, Shamkund. They're all there. By his spiritual potency, Shamkund, Radhakund and Giri Govardhan are all manifest. This temple is the headquarters of his preaching throughout India. During the peak time, there were 800 devotees here to cope with the daily influx of visitors. There are many places there. Chandrasekhar Bhavan, Chandrasekhar Pandit is an intimate associate of Lord Chaitanya, and this is where his house was located. So they marked that place, within that place, Chandrasekhar Acharya Ratna. He was a very close friend of Jagannath Mishra, and his wife was the sister of Sachimata. He was also the uncle of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chandrasekhar Pandit had a deep fatherly affection for Nimai and brought him here on a number of occasions and played with him on his lap. Chandrasekhar took up the role of Nimai's father and protector of Sachimata when Jagannath Mishra left the planet. Jagannath Mishra left the planet when Mahaprabhu took sannyas. Not before that. No, it was, I can't remember. So, he left before, yeah, because then he said that he left his mother who was alone and he left when Vishwarup left. Okay. So, that is Chandrasekhar Acharya's house is there, and Lord Chaitanya came here to tell Chandrasekhar he was going to leave and take sannyas. Hearing this, Chandrasekhar fell down weeping, his heart shattered. Gaurahari picked him up, embraced him, cried tears of love unto his dear associate. Chandrasekhar was with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he took sannyas and reported it to all devotees in Mayapur. So, we know Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur stayed there's one particular house in Chaitanya Math. He stayed and did his writing, and the devotees built that for him. It had a balcony, it was very nice, and you can see his personal quarters by asking one of the devotees. Our ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada, mentioned in his books how he met his spiritual master many times in that building, and he would hear him walk and chant japa on the veranda in that house. So, Chaitanya Math, we have the main temple also. The main temple is Radha Gandharvika Giridhari. This was a famous temple in all Gaudiya Math. They were the personal deities of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Next to them are two deities of Lord Chaitanya with his right hand raised. Walking around the deities, you will see murtis of acharyas of 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas. They are Sri Madhvacharya, Vishnu Swami, Nimbarg and Ramanuja. It's unique, you will not see this anywhere. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, his spiritual father and father, biological. He said that in future all sampradayas will come into this sampradaya. They'll find their conclusions within this sampradaya. So Bhaktisiddhanta, he studied Madhva's teachings and Ramanuja, and even called prominent Pandits to stay in Bagh Bazaar with him and study their philosophy, and wrote a book about both of them. So it's significant, he put all those 4 acharyas there to denote this point. Okay, also in Sri Chaitanya Math is Shyamkund, Radhakund, Govardhan, and Gorakishore Das Babaji's Samadhi, and Samadhi of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur himself. Regarding Gorakishore Das Babaji, the guru of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, one pastime is here. A disciple of Thakur Bhaktivinoda once came to Babaji Maharaj announcing his marriage, and he said in a devotional way that I am getting married to one of Krishna's maidservants, devotee to a devotee. So Maharaj, Gorakishore Das Babaji Maharaj, became very grave. Now he wanted some instruction from him. What shall I do now? What is my life? He instructed the new bridegroom against the desire to enjoy his wife and to never accept personal service from her. A wife, now that's a marriage. Now then, what will you do? He's saying. He said a Vaishnava wife is very rare, difficult to attain in this world. If one has a good fortune to acquire one, he should consider it a benediction from Krishna. As the wife worships the husband, As her Lord and Master, the husband should worship the wife because she is the servant of Krishna. The husband can thus safeguard his devotional fervor by not considering the wife his own maid servant, but always Krishna's servant. Okay, other pastimes I hear of Guru Krishodas Babaji Maharaj. So now here, final place in Chaitanya Math, the printing press. There's an old printing press used for printing books under directions of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. It's worshipable. Okay, Antradvipa, last place here shown is Ishodayan. Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, my Lord Sri Sachinandana enjoys midday pastimes with his associates here in Ishodayan. Seeing the beauty of this grove, I will remember Radha Kund. May this all be eternally visible to my eyes. Amid the huge trees and dense vines and various types of birds are singing the glories of Gauranga. There is a large lake and a golden temple covered with diamonds, as well as a blue and yellow sapphires. Ishodayan is non-different to Radha Kund in Vrindavan. It extends from the Samadhi Mandir of Srila Prabhupada in ISKCON down to Saraswati and Ganga confluence, Hular Ghat. That is Ishodayan. And what I just read is in Chaitanya Shataka. This quote by. Okay, Nandan Acharya's house is here. This is the place that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda met for the first time. It was a special pastime which I won't read because of time now. So in Ishodayan is Gaur Nityananda Mandir and also the place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda met. Okay, it says that Mahaprabhu also spent one night hiding here while the assembly of devotees suffered intense separation, not knowing where the Lord was. Nandan Acharya rode on the waves of ecstasy, spending the whole night with Lord Chaitanya, talking on the pastimes of Krishna. With Krishna, Lord Chaitanya himself. Shri Navadvipa Dham ki jai, Antradvipa Dham ki jai.